Good morning. This is the Economic Development Power Allocation Board meeting. My name is Cecily Morris. We're joined by Dennis Trainer and Andrew Silver, our board members. They are participating. Mr. Silver's are participating by video. I also welcome Power Authority staff members participating personally here in our room and also by video. This meeting is scheduled in accordance with the open meetings law, and I call this meeting of the board for the EdPath bylaws, Article 3, Section 2 to order. We'll begin by looking at the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda, Mr. Trainer?
No.
Mr. Silver?
No.
I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Next item on our agenda is the adoption of the minutes of our last meeting, which was held on January 28th, 2025. Are there any motions to amend the minutes?
No.
Mr. Trainer?
No.
Mr. Silver?
No.
I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 28th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Prior to this meeting today, everyone was provided a list of entities that we're going to be talking about today. And everyone was polled prior to the meeting regarding conflicts. There were none found. The next item on our agenda is the Recharge New York Power, new, extended, and modified allocations. So I'm going to ask Eric Bowers, Vice President of Economic Development and Key Account Management, to open this part of our agenda.
Good morning, Chair Morris, members of the board, and all in attendance today. My name is Eric Bowers. I'm the Vice President of Economic Development and Key Account Management. Thank you for your availability today. Your attendance at these meetings is always very much appreciated. We have two items on the agenda today, similar to the board meeting in January. We have another item today regarding Recharge New York transfers, which will be presented by Mark Schwartzbert, the expert customer contracts analyst. The other item is the first major Recharge New York item for the year, which covers new allocations, modified allocations, and extended allocations. I will now ask Yael Brown, expert business power allocations and compliance analyst, to present on this item.
Thanks, Eric, and good morning, everyone. Today, the board is requested to recommend that the trustees approve the following 43 recommendations consisting of the following: contract extensions for 17 allocations of Recharge New York Power to existing customers, totaling 22.7 megawatts and supporting nearly 10,400 jobs. 15 modifications related to existing Recharge New York allocations, extensions, and/or related supplemental commitments, and 11 new allocations of Recharge New York large business retention, large business expansion, and small business and not-for-profit based power, totaling 5.2 megawatts and supporting nearly 1,700 jobs. All applications were submitted through the state's Consolidated Funding Application System. As in the past, new applications were evaluated on a competitive basis in consideration of the 12 criteria in the Recharge New York legislation. I won't read through each of the 12 criteria, but some of the key ones include job commitments, capital investment, and an applicant's risk of closure or leaving the state if they are not awarded a Recharge New York power allocation. Applications for new R&Y power allocations have been considered, where applicable, under NYPA's Green Jobs Evaluation Incentive Plan and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Evaluation and Incentive Plan. Today's recommendations for new R&Y power allocations include 1 applicant with qualifying green jobs and 3 applicants with facilities located in disadvantaged communities. If today's recommendations are approved, it is anticipated that approximately 34 megawatts of R&Y power would remain available to allocate. The awarded applicants will be offered Recharge New York contracts for a term of up to 7 years. The contract has provisions for the partial or complete withdrawal of an allocation if the recipient fails to maintain mutually agreed upon commitments, relating to, among other things, employment, power utilization, and capital investment. This item is submitted for your approval, and I'd be glad to take any of your questions.
Thank you. And for those following along that aren't in attendance or following online or by video, the exhibits attached include those items. There's the 17 existing allocations, the 15 modifications, and then we have some new and adjustments. Mr. Trainer, any questions for Mr. Brown?
No questions.
Mr. Silver?
No questions.
I believe that in our packet, we have the proposed resolution, so I would accept a motion to approve the recommendations found in the materials as outlined in the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Being no opposition, the motion carries. Go back to Mr. Bowers. You want to?
I'd like to introduce Mark Schwartzberg to present on the transfer item.
Thank you, Eric. Good morning, everyone. Today we have an item coming before you as required by Public Authorities Law. It's a transfer of awarded allocations. A quick review of some of the reasons for which a customer may require the transfer of their award: business reorganization, which can include a corporate entity change, like Inc. to LLC, a merger or a split, all resulting in a change of federal tax ID. Sale of the business to another business, a merger could be this, resulting in a change of federal tax ID, and a move from one location in New York State to another location in New York State. This item requests the board to approve the transfer of Recharge New York power allocations, one, for a customer that has sold its bus manufacturing business and assets at a facility in Plattsburgh to another business entity that will continue the same business operations at the facility in Plattsburgh. Two, for an allocation awardee that facilitated the business of a sister entity by purchasing the land and facilities for manufacturing of specialty popcorn chips in Wappingshire Falls. Three, for an allocation awardee that wishes to align the award for grain processing with the sister business entity at the same location in Batavia that received a grant for grain processing machinery. And four, for a customer in Comac that manages IT and network infrastructure for businesses and has merged with its parent company. This request is subject to approval for the transfer of R&Y power allocations by the authority, there being no material reductions in the base employment level or capital investment commitment associated with allocations that would be transferred, and the transfer is addressed in contract documents containing such terms and conditions determined by the authority to be appropriate to effectuate the transfer. Specifically, the board is being asked today to recommend that the trustees approve the transfer of a 90 kilowatt R&Y power allocation and 130 kilowatt R&Y power allocation awarded to Novabus US Inc. for use at its facilities at 252 Banker Road, Plattsburgh, New York, and 260 Banker Road, Plattsburgh, New York, to Microbird USA LLC to address organizational changes. Approve the transfer of a pending 100 kW R&Y power allocation awarded to 230 Hill Road LLC for use at its 90 Brentwood Drive, Wappinger Falls, New York facility to reserve snacks to address organizational changes. Approve the transfer of the pending 120 kilowatt and 200 kilowatt R&Y power allocation awarded to Howlett Farms Feed LLC for use at its 2773 Pratt Road, Batavia, New York facility to Howlett Farms Inc. to address organizational changes. Approve the transfer of a 150 kilowatt RNY power allocation awarded to Mindshift Technologies, Inc. for use at its 500 Comac Road, Comac, New York facility to Rico USA, Inc. to address organizational changes. This item is submitted for your approval. I'd be glad to take any of your questions.
Thank you.
No question.
Any questions? Mr. Silver, any questions?
No.
I think it's important to highlight, and it's done very well in these materials, but these changes don't change anything about what we previously provided to the entities. So the bus is basically changing its name. The bus company is basically changing its name. And with regard to the, I want to make sure I got it right, reserve, this is to just ensure they keep going, but they bought some adjacent property, right? Or did I confuse that with Howlett? But basically, their entities continue to run. It's just an adjustment, not a real change in the number of people working there or their.
Yeah.
Thank you. There being no other questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the recommendations in the materials.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There being no opposition, the motion carries. I want to thank the group again for the wonderful materials. I always say, oh, I got to find a question in here somewhere, but the next sentence that I read answers the questions. It's so well done always, and I appreciate everybody's hard work. You make us look good too. So the next item on our agenda is making sure everybody knows our next meeting is Tuesday, May 20th at 8 a.m. Corporate Secretary's office will contact everybody and make sure everybody's available. Obviously, if there's any changes with that, we'll let everybody know. If there's nothing else to come before the EdPap board this morning, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There being no opposition, motion carries. We're adjourned.
All right.
Good to see you, Andy.